Hey bodybuilding fans, this is Philip Ricardo with Inside Natural Bodybuilding, here with John Bosnia, of course, who's here for the ISSN conference, and the legend himself, Dave the Shredder Goodin. And we're at the conclusion of Layne Norton's VIP camp here in Tampa. This is a VIP camp number 3, and we had 2 camps. It was an awesome experience. We had such a fun time today. We finished off a lot of PRs, which are personal records here at the camp, but we had some awesome individuals here, a lot of legends, IFBB pros, and of course, like I said, Dave Goodin here. And we're going to talk with Dave a little bit because he had some new and exciting, groundbreaking news that people probably don't know about in regards to the IFBB and the WNBF. So, Dave, just tell us a little bit about what's been going on with you in your life, and especially the new developments that you've already kind of gave the camp the first info on.
Well, we had the Texas Shredder in April 12th, the 17th year for the Texas Shredder, and our biggest show ever. We had 479 athletes, and it's a drug-tested show. And so we were extremely excited about that. But 2 days after the camp, we resigned from the NPC. I retired from the IFBB from competing, and we bought a share of the WNBF and INBF with Bob Bell, Tina Smith, and Nancy Andrews. And I mean, we couldn't be more excited about the move. And it's kind of funny how things have come full circle. I competed 13 years in the WNBF, was suspended for doing an article for Ironman magazine, as many people know, and then got my IFBB Pro card. And so we've really built a good following for our company, Shredder Built, and our shows, the Texas Shredder Classic, Texas State Naturals, through the MPC and Ironman magazine. And so now to have the opportunity to get rid of all the restrictions that were previously running the WNBF into the ground. They were losing a lot of the great athletes for appearing in magazines or just because people want to compete in other shows. So what our vision is for the WNBF is to allow pros from other natural organizations to compete in WNBF pro shows as long as they meet our drug-free standards. And so our goal is to be an inclusive organization as opposed to what it was before, as an exclusive, very limited, very controlling organization. And so we're really excited about the changes and being able to be part of it and to bring what we're doing into it.
Awesome. You got anything to say, John?
Yeah, I'm just curious. Are you guys maybe bringing in a lot of the magazines and that kind of coverage back now that things grow, or?
Well, obviously there's going to be some magazines that only cover NPC IFBB events, and so there's some that I know we won't reel in, but I think we'll be able to reel some in because I think this is going to blow up huge. Just to give you an example, previous to last year in Texas, there were only 2 INBF shows. The Southwest America, David Nall's show, produced by Naturally Fit, and then Miles Stovall's show in San Antonio. Todd Tanner came in with a show in Houston last year, and he did last year and this year. When we made the announcement that we were coming on board, we reeled in Peter Caceres in South Padre Island, so he'll promote INBF show in September 6th. I'm guest posing.
Nice.
South Padre Island, what could be better? Maybe Florida, I don't know. And then our show, our Texas State Naturals, November 1st will be an INBF show. But if everybody follows through who has contacted us about promoting shows next year, we'll have 12 shows in Texas next year.
Wow.
12,
That's
yeah.
big time. Yeah.
And so we're already talked to a woman last camp about Puerto Rico, so it's a possibility. We talked to Tyler in Arizona. It looks like he's going to do an INBF show. So, I mean, and we haven't done anything yet. I mean, it's just, we just jumped in, announced that we're spreading the word, and appreciate you guys helping us spread the word here.
Of course, that's what we're here for. Awesome. Well, I mean, like I said, this is groundbreaking. This is huge for the natural bodybuilding world, and of course, nothing against the NBC IFBB, but for us, that want to compete in drug-free shows like the WNBF, it just gives us a whole new avenue, you know. And of course, I guess you guys are branching out not only within the U.S. and Texas, but you know, throughout Puerto Rico, just traveling overseas and things like that. I know that there's some other things you guys are planning maybe for 2016 with you know, Dallas Cowboys Stadium for the WNBF Worlds. There's so many things that these guys are trying to put out there that it makes pros like myself. I've never competed in WNBF, but because of the fact that great icons like yourself and Bob and Tina and Nancy are involved, it really opens up the gates for some of the pros that compete like in the PNBA, IFPA, or wherever to really want to do your shows. I tell you, I'm definitely excited about this information. So, you know, thank you for spreading the word and getting involved and let us know what's going on. Do you have any other questions for him?
Yeah, sure. So with these guest postings and things, people probably still want to know. I mean, obviously you've retired. Is there any chance we'd see you come back in your own organization, or at least maybe to guest post?
Yeah, like I said, I've already, as soon as I announced my retirement, I picked up a guest posing appearance. But I think, you know, competing in the WNBF, it would be a conflict of interest, and I'm getting old too.
You don't look old, that's for sure.
But I mean, the exciting thing is, you know, we had a great experience with the NPC and IFBB. We made great friends, and you know, when I was competing the first time on IFBB stage, I'm standing up there, I'm like, man, I'm living the dream.
Right.
You know, this is what, you know, every young bodybuilder wants to be an IFBB pro. But without taking any drugs, there was no way I was going to be competitive in, you know, in the bodybuilding division, and especially when they moved it from 202 to 212, it just gave me, yeah, it made it worse. And then last year I flipped over to pro men's physique, and they told me I was too big. Yeah, so Tamer out in California, he was head judging the show out there I competed in, and I came off stage, and he's like, Dave, your arms are way too huge. You must stop working your arms completely. And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
How long, right?
Yeah.
20 years of doing that.
Yeah, worked for 30 years to build the big arms, and it's like, stop working your arms. No,
not gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen. But, you know, Diana and I, when we discussed making this move, you know, it gives natural pros like yourself and these young guys coming up, you know, a chance to make money. I mean, you're not going to make a living at it, right, but there's not many IFBB pros that actually make a living at it.
True, right? Unless they're good
but
top guys.
the chance to compete in multiple pro shows, and you know, our goal is to build up the prize money to make it, you know, more significant than giving away $500 for first place. You know, we want it to be in the thousands, not the hundreds. And just, you know, to leave that, you know, because I felt like at some point, you know, after I competed in a couple of IFBB pro bodybuilding shows, is like, you know, all these natural guys that look up to me and are following me, when they get here, if they have the opportunity to compete as IFBB pro, they're either going to have to take drugs, or they're not going to be competitive. And so just the opportunity to buy into the WNBF with Bob and Tina and Nancy, it was like, oh my God, this is so wonderful, and this makes me feel a lot better about what I'm doing.
Good stuff.
And we're, you know, one of the things about our shows is we think that competitors first. We want the competitors to have a great experience, and so in terms of the way we run our shows, and in terms of the way we want to run this organization, is to make things as good for the competitors as it can be, for them to have fun. When they're having fun, the audience is going to have fun. They're going to bring more people. The vendors will come in, and that's how we built our show as big as we have. And you know, there's going to be more oversight because, you know, as you know, with the natural organizations in the past, and particularly frankly with the INBF and WNBF, there are a lot of shows there's absolutely nobody from the organization there.
Right.
And so the quality of shows varies dramatically depending on the promoter.
Hosts and promoters. Yeah.
And so our vision, Bob and Tina and Nancy and Diana and I, is to have more oversight, to help the new promoters, to bring the level of their shows up, to help them do it right, to make it fun for the competitors. And it's like when you make it fun, people will come.
Oh yeah. We're definitely excited, definitely. Good stuff. Well, I don't know if you have anything else, but you know,
Take us home.
yeah, this is a great interview. I mean, hearing from the legend himself, and just this is very exciting for natural bodybuilding. And I think, like you said, the WNBF is now going to be a new force to be reckoned with. And you know, without any restrictions, it gives so many people a chance to have, you know, like you said, more opportunities to compete, money, etc. So, you know, this is Philip Ricardo Jr., John Bazzi, the legend, Dave, the Shredder Goodin, here at the VIP camp in Tampa. And this is Inside Natural Bodybuilding. We're out of here.